Hello, FinOps. How is everyone? Yesterday, I was certain my voice was going to be lost. Somehow, when I woke up, I found it. So today, we're going to have a little bit of a crazy conversation. I want to talk about FinOps in the AI era. We all know it's coming. We all know there's been a lot of conversations. This is going to get a little crazy. My objective is to foster a conversation. Probably one of the best things about this community is the conversations. It's the hallway track. And I want to talk about what I think AI means for all of us, what we need to be thinking about for the future. It's going to change everything. And we're going to get into that together today. If we don't have a conversation after this, my life will be a failure. So please, come talk to me. Come by our booth. Learn a little bit about what we're talking about here. Learn a little bit about what we're building. We'd love to share it with you. Today, yesterday, at this conference, some of our best speakers have been our customers up on stage. Those are the folks who really, I take great pride in seeing them talk about what they're building and what they're creating on top of our product. Today, I just want to talk to you and have this conversation about AI. And we'll talk a little bit about the product too along the way. All right, so let's get started. So in the beginning, there was data. And data was good. How many people lived in the days of Oracle, DBAs, and SQL Server, and all those good things? Data was the center of the universe. It was the only planet we knew. We lived on this planet. It pulled all things towards it. It had the gravity. Has anybody heard that term? Data has gravity, right? And in the beginning, things were good. And then this magical thing appeared called the cloud. 2006, started to emerge in the universe. What turned out to be maybe a blip on the horizon became one of the largest planets in the solar system for us. And it had gravity. It actually pulled all of the data towards itself. And it wasn't like the data didn't have that gravity because it pulled all the applications with it as well. And it all ended up in the cloud. And a lot of us are here today and owe our livelihood to that gravity that has pulled us towards the cloud. But there is something that has been hiding at the center of this universe that we've maybe just now discovering or will be the future for what we are orbiting. And that is this supermassive black hole that is at the center of our universe now. And I mean that. It is a supermassive black hole. And that accretion disk is just becoming visible to us. And what I would challenge all of us to think about is that if we can't continue to orbit this, if we can't figure out how to maintain that pace orbiting the supermassive black hole, it will pull us in and consume us. We have to change. We have to think differently. We have to evolve. I've gone from one place thinking, is this really going to change my life? To, oh yes, it's coming. And I'd like to bring all of you there with me so that we can be prepared for this. So this supermassive black hole is at the center of our universe right now, and there's a couple of things driving that. Now, there's a perspective right now. We're in California. Maybe we're a little bit too far away from San Francisco, but for those who live in the Bay Area, probably know something that Erik Schmidt, another Erik, we've got now more Eriks coming into the conversation, the California consensus. Now, the California consensus is essentially, as Erik Schmidt described it, pretty much everyone in California believes this, and everyone outside thinks they're crazy. Depending upon which side of the fence you are, we probably think they're crazy to some extent. But the reality is that these folks, some of them who have a great deal to gain if these things come true, some of them who are just trying to ride the wave, some of them are trying to maintain that orbit, but are all pretty convinced is going to happen. And one of the key takeaways of this is that software itself is going to be built majority-wise by machines. Some people think it's going to happen at the end of this year. Now, you might think that's crazy. But when that reality comes true, it changes everything about how systems are built. Maybe some of you have heard me say, every engineering decision is a buying decision. Who is going to be making the engineering decisions in that world? So this California consensus, I like what Bill McDermott said. We're not facing an evolution. We're staring down an AI tsunami. that will completely transform the business landscape. This is not an optional change. It is a do or die-like situation. I don't think this is an apocryphal statement. If AI is going to be writing all the software, a lot of change is going to happen very fast for all of us in this room. Everyone here at the at FinOps X is going to find their lives changed. This time next year is going to be dramatically different. That's my prediction. We'll see if I'm right. We'll see if we get there next year. Okay. So obviously we care a little bit about cost here. And if you take some of the latest data, this one's from Goldman Sachs on the left-hand side here, it's talking about $2 trillion in cloud spend by 2030. Now, this is mostly focused on just the cloud providers themselves. If we expand that to start treating the OpenAIs of the world, the Anthropics, and start including them and break out the existing spend that's happening within the cloud providers themselves on AI versus just traditional cloud services, by 2030, we might be staring down a $3.2 trillion number in terms of spend. And perhaps even more interesting than that is that in 2030, AI services revenue grows beyond traditional cloud services revenue. Most of us in this room today are focused on cloud services. AI, we see it as changing things, but by that point in time, 5 years in the future, AI is going to be dominating the conversation. We are already orbiting around that supermassive black hole. So what does that mean for all of us? It means there's some disruption coming. So let's think about disruption for a second. Probably all familiar with the story of Kodak. It's just one example. Interesting enough, they invented the digital camera only to be run over by it. Many of the cloud providers today actually got started way before Anthropic or OpenAI even existed, focusing on AI technology. They're already finding themselves in a place where we are all rushing towards this. Some amazing things are being built, but I want to take your mind to a place where we think about, again, all the software being written by AI. If I can build the software in AI, AI can deploy the software for me. And if AI can deploy the software for me, AI can run the software for me. And then the question of where it runs, how it's deployed, and how it's built might be driven by an entirely new player, one that maybe is already here, or maybe one that is yet to emerge. We're going to see new types of cloud players emerge that are focused exclusively on AI. And I think right now what I see among the cloud providers is some very encouraging investment, because I think they understand this as well. So there's a lot of different types of disruption we can learn from our past. This is what we're trying to avoid, I think, is a group of folks very much aligned and believing in the cloud, that we don't want to see this all go bankrupt. I don't think that's going to happen. But Kodak, Blockbuster, BlackBerry, they all found themselves on the wrong side of this equation. The general cloud world could become exceptionally commoditized by 2030. We could be thinking completely differently about services. Most of all the activities that we think about, observability, DevOps, FinOps, these are products and services that are designed around providing information to a user, a human. In the future, we have to think about how we serve a new persona, AI. So I think this is going to happen before we're ready. Right now, speak with your engineers, they're already building software. You're using copilots or they're augmented by AI. But in the next 1 to 2 years, I think most new systems are going to be built by AI. A lot of existing code is going to be refactored by AI. We're going to still be managing a lot of that by humans, but we're going to move to a place where we start to deploy that software by 2028. And by 2030, what we know of the cloud right now, when we see that inflection point happen, we'll see a fully autonomous cloud. Not one where we build code that interfaces with APIs, but we manage and create software with an outcome in mind and a set of intents that we want to design for. So this shift is going to happen to all of us. And the question is, what are we doing to make our business smarter as the cloud gets smarter? This shift is happening. AI will change the way that we build, run, manage. Smart systems will spin up, environments will adjust automatically. There will be all kinds of new non-functional requirements that need to enter into these agentic systems. But cost is no longer going to be just a number on a bill. It's going to be a living signal that tells us about the health and the success and the ability for that application to drive the objectives of the business. That number is a reflection of the product decisions and the business decisions they're making. It's an indication of engineering velocity, but ultimately of business value, which I think is pretty awesome that we get to the thing that we all are trying to optimize, which is our business and the value that we deliver. I want to see the conversation shift from what did we spend to was it worth it? This is CloudZero's mission. When I started CloudZero in 2016, I was driven by a couple of core concepts that haunt me to this day. That unit economics is life, that every engineering decision is a buying decision, that if we build truly efficient systems, we are optimizing and driving innovation within our business. And if we can get to this world in an AI-driven future, where we move from worrying about what it cost or what we spent to deeply understanding if it was worth it, we will all be leveling up our careers and leveling up this space. This is what's going to happen. Today, every engineering decision might be a buying decision. Tomorrow, every AI decision is a buying decision. And the question is, how are we informing those buying decisions that AI is making? How are we putting guardrails in place to make sure that it's writing efficient code? If we fail to do this, I fear that we're going to end up with some of the most dramatic cost explosions that the world has ever seen. It's the worst kind of hallucination. And we're going to have to work in that environment as practitioners and FinOps professionals. So, is this what's coming for us? Is AI going to take our jobs? There's a lot of conversation about efficiency through reduction in headcount. It's happening everywhere. AI might be coming for the cloud, but what does it mean for FinOps? So I'm an optimist. And I don't think it's going to come for our jobs, but it is going to move from a human-centric to AI-centric opportunity. Today, FinOps practices involve us interpreting dashboards, speaking with folks, trying to drive change culture. Tomorrow, when we're starting to build software directly from AI, it will be autonomously built, brought down, brought up, scaled, rebuilt, refactored, migrated, and moved by autonomous systems. But us, all of us, have to set the policy. We have to drive how these systems will be governed. We have to drive how those autonomous systems will make decisions. We have to set the non-functional requirements, like what are my margin targets? What is my unit cost that I want to achieve? How profitable does the system need to be? Those need to be fed in real time into these systems for them to make good decisions. And this is where we're focusing. So I think new FinOps roles ultimately emerge. Cloud economic architects, FinOps product managers, driving product decisions, AI augmented cost engineers, this agentic coding flow, MCP interfaces driving data about the economics of my business directly into the development process, and unit economic managers. Unit economics is emerging in the AI era as one of the most critical data points you can have. Whether you're trying to chase down a cost per token, or a cost per prompt, or cost per inference, or just a cost per exploration and experimentation. These are the things that are helping us understand the total cost of ownership and ROI on these projects so that they move from toys to actual living, breathing, business value delivering systems. So how is CloudZero getting ready for that era? These are the things that we're working on and hard at work on. Something we call CloudZero Intelligence, which is an agentic layer that we are building that drives a conversation around benchmarks, around existing spend, around optimization, that pulls data from multiple sources and avoids the inaccuracies that we've seen from some of the other systems out there so that we can continue to drive accurate information that can guide and be the guardrails for these systems. We are preparing for this agentic autonomous era. And we're building it right now. We've already released an integration with Amazon Q. CloudZero is one of only 2 products in the world where you can go into the Amazon console and actually have a conversation as a CloudZero customer directly with the CloudZero system. We see a lot of opportunity to be tied into where the developers and where the systems are being built, and this is where we're investing our time and energy. This agentic future is the future. We treat AI now as a persona within CloudZero. We think about how we can serve the data to them so that it can make better decisions. One of those areas that I'm very happy to announce, one of the first areas where we're starting to reveal some of these capabilities is something that we're launching this week, which is our Optimizer product. Optimizer is built on top of all of the data that we've been collecting over the last 9 years as a business. Our ability to understand and analyze these environments very rapidly and quickly. And we're focused on one thing. As we hunt waste, we want to make sure that we're driving towards an outcome, action. I would rather show you one single element where you're going to actually take action on it than show you 10,000 issues that you're never going to chase. We measure our success in actual realized savings when we look across all of our customer base. And we've seen some of the most complex environments in the world that has allowed us to level up to this new capability. You can come by our booth, you can see a demo, you can spend some time with it. I absolutely invite you to do so. But this is one of the first areas where we're taking all this data and the work that we're doing in AI and bringing these 2 worlds together. So a little bit about how this system works. So first, we've built a curated library of insights. This curated library is a collection of the knowledge that we have learned over the years, and it's a knowledge base that we ultimately want to open and allow our customers and partners to invest in. That brings in a new level of context specific to the insights that we're delivering. When you think about looking at a recommendation, you're probably like me. How can I trust this? Am I ready to put my job on the line? It's not broken. Should I really go and try to fix it? Whenever we put a recommendation in front of someone, we're asking them to take a leap of faith. I know we've looked at products and suddenly wondered, well, is that worth it? Will I get the return on that investment? And we think long and hard about that. We want to make sure that we're presenting all of the evidence so that you can feel confident in making those decisions. And ultimately, we want to see this driving automated systems that I talked about. We want to integrate with the workflows, whether it's Slack or Jira or other engineering systems where we can drive change in the environment, automate how we calculate the realized savings, and ultimately make that part of the governance process for how you build software in your cloud environments. We see this as our opportunity to bridge these 2 worlds. It's part of our continued mission. How do we connect that island of business and data that's living in finance and the island of data that's living in engineering? As we move from finance to customer success, through the revenue-generating aspects of your business, to product and engineering, all of these teams have to work together. They all have to be part of a process in building value and delivering software. CloudZero wants to see a world where we continue to innovate. Right now, we see a curve starting to form, particularly around some of these AI innovations that we want to avoid. We call this the trough of lost innovation. AI right now is on this uptick. Many of us are starting to feel or sense this intrinsically, that there is a coming correction. We believe that we can actually halt or correct that trough of lost innovation by making it absolutely clear to everyone what they get when they build these systems and what the return on that investment is. Ultimately, when cloud runs itself, CloudZero wants to be there helping you understand if it was worth it. So I want to thank you very much for your time. Hopefully I've spurred on a little bit of a desire to have that deeper conversation. I want you to hold us accountable. We see a pretty amazing future ahead of us. Next year, when we're all at FinOps X, let's see how true some of these predictions came. I think it's going to be a pretty amazing ride. I expect to be on the stage talking about how well we did and how well we didn't. But one thing's for certain, CloudZero is investing heavily in this area. We see this as our future, and we see the AI as a key persona that we can all collectively as a community level up on. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Hey everyone, producer Andrew here. Thank you so much for watching and for your support. For more FinOps X 2025 content, go check out our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, and leave comments and questions for all of our wonderful speakers. We appreciate your support.